I had a bad kind of experience 17 days ago. I have broken my foot, and it was one of the worst things that I ever experienced in my life. And I hope in the future I don't ever experience a thing like this. At first, I was started to think that this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And this is the worst thing that a person can ever experience. And following days, my thoughts are started to change because I did get used to my broken foot, and I did get used to moving with something that will support my moves. And this this situation had me get a better perspective of the life, because you don't know a value of a thing until it is taken away from you. That was the situation to me. I've never lost any of my bones, any of my limbs, anything to happen to me that would mess with integrity of my bones or of my extremities. I've never lived that. Not a single bone of my body had ever broken in my life. So I'm 30 years old, and it is kind of a late time to experience a fracture, but it happened. So another lesson I have learned during this time is health is a very important subject. Yes, we all know health is very important, but I don't think we appreciate our health enough. It was the case for me. I took that for granted. I didn't appreciate it, and when I lost it, I have started to appreciate my health. So I also had a little fracture on my hand, and we did put both of them into a stabilizer, and we have removed the immobilizer on my hand, and I can move it now. I can use my hand now. It still have a supporter, but it is not immobilized, and I am very appreciative of this situation. The immobilizer on my foot still remains, but I'm hoping that we can move it in approximately 2 weeks. It can take longer because the fracture on my foot is in a position that perfuses relatively low. So because it has less perfusion compared to other parts of the body, it takes longer time to heal. But in case this happens to a young person, like under 40, the healing process actually takes less time. So I'm hoping my foot will be fully healed after 2 weeks. I will see an orthopedic surgeon after 2 weeks, and I'm hoping that my foot will be fully healed. Of course, I will not walk immediately. I will not put the pressure, 100% pressure on my foot immediately, but after some time, it will be like 25%, 50%, 75%, and approximately after removing the immobilizer, after 2 weeks removing the immobilizer, I can start putting 100% of my body weight to each of my foot, each of my extremities. So the third lesson that I have come to appreciate is there is you since you can't take your health for granted, you should go for the things you really want in your life, because someday, and this might not be very late, someday you might lose the actual capacity to pursue the things you really want from the life. And in order to not fall into that trap, one should always take action, and take action towards the things they really do want from their life. This is the case for me. So I I started doing the things which I have stopped for some time, and I have started to appreciate them more since I have this situation. And if there's anybody has actual fractures right now that is watching this video, I didn't fully recover either, although my hand is like 80% recovered. It's not 100%, but it's getting better. So I can say this, the things actually do get better. If your condition is not very chronic and not irreversible, the things will get better. And just keep hoping and just keep staying positive, trying to stay positive, because it gets tough. It gets tough, and if you don't stay positive, if you don't try, at least try to stay positive, it will be tougher. You will be dealing with mental problems too. So if you can remove that from the equation, mental problems, the things will get easier. This is the case for me. Because I was mentally strong during this time, I was able to quickly regain my health. And I'm kind of moving fast right now. Yes, I don't use my left foot, but I'm using a mover, and I started moving fast, and I started brushing my teeth. I started washing my hands, washing my face. I couldn't do that. I needed help from another human being. But right now I can do this on my own. And I really appreciate this, because I never had a person to help me with those things. And being able to wash your hands, wash your face is great. I can't stress this enough, because I was too frustrated since I wasn't able to clean myself. I always needed help, and getting help in this situation, it can be tough. It was for me. So removing one of the immobilizer certainly did help, and it helps on your emotional well-being either. This is the case for me. It really helped me on an emotional scale, and it doesn't have to be a broken bone. Your health might be in a bad situation. It can be an accident, it can be a diagnosis which you just had. It can be something chronic that is going worse, or it can be somebody's health, perhaps someone that is close to you, maybe your significant other. But if you have a mindset that is more leaning towards in a positive direction, you will have it easier. And if that is a relative to you, having a positive reaction to situations and having this mindset like, I'm sure that it will work out just fine, and having this kind of mindset will help you, and it will help the others in need either. So for me, this experience which I'm still having, made me appreciate the things I have. And I have some goals right now, and I didn't have them before. I will keep my health intact. I will keep trying to prevent me from having chronic conditions, because I just had my health taken away from me, and it isn't really something that you enjoy. Yes, you will deal with it, and in order to deal with, you try to stay positive. That's right. But if this doesn't happen to you, that's much better. So in order to not lose my health in a chronic way, perhaps like obesity, like diabetes, like hypertension, because these situations, these disorders are relatively rare. In order to keep me in order to keep me from having these disorders, in order to prevent myself, I will be more careful. And I hope you get some value from this video, because you can learn from somebody's experiences. You can also learn someone else's mistakes. And I hope you learn from my experience, because health isn't something that will stay with you forever. Definitely not the case for me. And so I have a bone fracture, but I will try to be here. So see you in the next video. Take care and stay positive.